What's up, guys? Ryan here, back with some more Rush Royale, and it's that time of the week again. It is time for the faction change. So, this week's faction is Forest Alliance, and the booster for the faction is called Multiplication. So, what that does is all mana generation is increased by 10% for every unit in this faction. So, what that means is a certain somebody is now absolutely broken. So, we're gonna look at the faction units. It's Boreas, Dryad, Summoner, and Trapper. Those are pretty much the only useful ones here, and Blade Dancer, which I don't have, unfortunately, so I can't really make any decks with her yet. But some of those other cards can make some pretty off-meta decks. So I do like the faction boost. I do like the mana generation. But let's jump and look at the deck that I've been playing. So it is Crystalmancer, Frost, Dryad, Trapper, and Vampire. So Vampire is absolutely broken. I will go ahead and say that, and I'll tell you why. A long time ago, Vampire used to give like 12 mana maxed out, and they had to like emergency nerf it because it was so broken. And now with this faction boost, it does the exact same thing, only using 2 of the faction units. So you're only getting a 20% boost, and you're getting 12 mana for every hit from a maxed out Vampire. Plus, you get the extra faction boost from killing units. So instead of getting 10 mana on wave 1, I'm getting with 2, 13, which isn't a whole lot, but it does add up, especially on like wave 3 when you're getting like 40 almost, something like that. I think it's it'd be 13 times 3, so 39. So it adds up to a lot. You have actually too much mana sometimes. I'll be sitting at 4 or 5k mana every once in a while. The only problem is if you don't get that Vampire. So we're actually going to merge here until I get the Vampire. I really want the Vampire early. We need to generate as much mana as possible. Not getting the Vampire, this is not good. Actually wasted a lot of merges there not getting the Vampire. But Vampire is pretty much useful in every deck now. You never see a Vampire Inquisitor deck because the value from Harlequin is so good, and you just see it stacked with Summoner. But I've been trying a lot of different decks, and Vampire in an Inquisitor deck is definitely one I've been trying. The problem is Trapper. Trapper takes up so many units on the board for him to actually be useful. And for me, that it kind of makes some of the other cards a little bit less viable, like Boreas. You need a lot of Boreas to have a lot of damage, and Inquisitor, you need a lot of Inquisitors to have a lot of damage. So when you throw out half of your board for Trappers, because having like one Trapper is not really that effective. He's not going to throw enough nets out to actually make a difference. But I am going to be playing around with a lot of decks this time. So as you can see, level 4 now I'm getting 9 mana. If I were to use 3 units, I would be getting 10 mana right now at level 4, which is the same as it was max before this faction boost. I think we're going to be seeing a lot of Vampire, and possibly a lot of Trickster, since Trickster does steal your mana. So now, if he does use Trickster, he's going to be taking a lot more mana than he would before, because there's going to be vampires everywhere. And then, oh my gosh, that is awful. I should have saw that coming. To be honest with you, I should have saw that coming. So this guy's deck is going to turtle out really, really well. He's using Bombardier, and that means he's getting probably 11 mana from his Vampire. I haven't tried it with only 1 unit. I have been wanting to swap the Trapper in this deck with something else, but I can't see anything giving as much value right now with that extra 10%. I wanted to swap Frost with like Boreas or something to get another 10%, but you need the Frost for the turtling ability, because Crystalmancer is pretty much useful without turtling. But guys, we have hit 600 subs. I am so grateful. We went from 5 to 600 really, really, really quickly, and I do want to thank everybody for that. And if you're not subbed, hit that sub button, guys. Hit the like button. It means a whole lot. It does help me out so much. But yeah, guys, I'm loving these faction changes every month, or every week, I mean. It just makes the game not nearly as stale as it used to. It used to, if the meta sucked, you wouldn't want to play until they changed it. And now it's getting changed every week, so they don't really have to do as much. It helps them. They don't have to do as many balance changes, because the meta is going to change regardless. I do feel like Crystalmancer and Inquisitor are probably going to be the 2 best decks in the game right now. I have tried some Boreas decks. I tried like a Boreas with Trapper and Alchemist, or Chemist, I mean, just for the extra armor penetration or whatever you want to call it. and it did work. I think I won 2 of the 3 matches I played. I just didn't like it as much as a Crystal Mancer or Inquisitor, because they're just so good right now. Crystal Mancer especially, using the Vampire. Really, the only card you change in this deck is the Trapper for the Bombardier or for Corsair or whatever you want to use. And Trapper shreds armor and slows, so I think it works really, really well with Crystal Mancer. I'm not gonna say this is the best deck, but I think this is the best deck that I have tried so far. So if you guys can think of anything, drop the decks down in the comments, and I will definitely give them a try. So right now I have a lot of low-level trappers, or low-tier trappers, so I really need to try to get some more. If not, that just makes Trapper useless. I need to max out my Crystal Mancer too. I need to upgrade. Are you sitting there just that one Vampire, just 12, 12, 12? I mean, it's insane. You wouldn't think 2 mana makes that much of a difference, but it really does. That Crystal Mancer attacks 500, you're getting an extra 1,000 mana just from the buff. And it's probably attacking at least 500 units every game. That's a guesstimate, but I would assume so. Especially as long as these games last nowadays. So we're gonna leave them both level 4. I think that should be good enough. We're gonna go ahead and pop our Snowflake, or Ice Girl as I call. I wanna try a Corsair deck. I might have to give that a go. Instead of, ooh, that's a good idea. I got a deck idea now. You might see another video tomorrow that's gonna be utilizing Corsair. I thought that was a game at first. I wasn't paying a whole lot of attention to his hero ability. He will take 2 damage, I think. 2 damage? Yes, 3? Okay, we actually beat him. So that's a standard, that's the old school Crystal Mancer deck we actually just took out. Not sure how he lost so early, but I'm not gonna complain. We'll jump into another one. So this deck is actually really, really good. I am sitting at about the same trophies I was last video. Haven't played a whole lot, and the ones I have played, I've been trying different decks, so it's kind of just nullifying the wins I get because I'll end up losing 2 games after that or something. Just trying useless decks at some points. So Butters is playing what, in my opinion, is probably the best deck in the game, or has been for the last few balance changes, I guess. That Inquisitor deck is really, really good. So if we can beat this deck with this one, with the Crystal Mancer deck, I'll be extremely happy, and I will be satisfied with this deck, and I would say it's probably one of the better decks in the games. Alright, so we got our tier 2. I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade him to tier 3, and that'll be the only Vampire we need. We won't need to take 2 squares with a Vampire, because he does only attack 1 unit at a time, and I don't know if there's a timer on it. Like, I don't know if after 20 seconds if it'll attack the same unit again, if it works that way. I know eventually he does attack the same unit and I'll get like extra mana, but I don't know how that actually works. I tried reading it and couldn't find anything in like the notes it has in the game for the units. So if you do know, please let me know, educate me a little bit. Bedlam does not help this deck at all, so if you're playing Harlequin and Summoner, Bedlam is like your best friend, but with this deck, nope. So this is gonna be good for Butters. He will definitely be getting an advantage playing the Summoner Harlequin. But we're playing an overpowered Vampire, so we can't complain too much with that. We're gonna go ahead and upgrade here. Go ahead and get some damage, that way we don't have to pop the Snowflake, we can save it. Bedlam may not swap us here. We may be able to kill it fast enough to where we don't have to worry about Bedlam. That is probably gonna be our goal. So we'll go ahead and get probably a tier 4 Crystal Mancer, or level 4 Crystal Mancer. And that should be plenty. Should be good to go right here. Oh yeah, there's plus 12s everywhere. That looks so nice. And then you got the items now for your hero that gives even more mana. Oh yeah. This week's gonna be pretty much get any board you want because you have so much mana. Should be it. We should kill it before we get swapped. Oh, or not. I am a dummy. So we can just do that though. It doesn't really make that much of a difference. I do want to get rid of that Vampire that's on our empowered square. But if I wasn't dumb, I would have used that last dryad that I had on him instead and merged the two. But I'm a moron, so that didn't happen. Been getting a lot of good feedback from you guys about like things I can do to make my videos better. So for this video, I do have higher sound for in-game sound, and I'm gonna lower the music volume just a tad bit. And if you do hear a squeaking in the vacuum, in the background, if you hear squeaking in the background, that is my dog, and I apologize. I do not know how the word vacuum came into my head, but it did. It's actually funny. Yeah, he is actually getting on my nerves a little bit with that little squeak toy. Dude will squeak that thing all day long. He never gets bored of it. So let's get this. We got us a tier 3 on the board. Then after we fill the square, we'll sit here until after the Warlock, because Warlock will probably kill at least one unit for us. And we don't want to waste our mana upgrading our units by merging and stuff and then lose a higher tier unit. So hopefully he doesn't hit one of our tier 3 Crystal Masters, because that would be very sad. So look at our mana generation. I mean, we're at 2200 mana. We were just almost empty a second ago. We'll probably hit, well, it'll probably be 3500 whenever we make it to the boss. It's gonna be close to 4K. Holy sheesh. You get so much mana. Over 4K. We generated like 1500 mana in 10 seconds. I mean, that's absolutely nuts. Okay, well, that's not what we wanted, but it's okay. So he's gonna heal once, and then we should kill him. There's the, oh, he didn't heal, cool. We need to get rid of these units that we're not needing, like these vampires that I really don't need. We don't need these vampires. I don't want to get rid of all the vampires, but we don't need those low tier ones. We do need at least one high tier frost. That way we can only need one frost, and we can get some more trappers on the board. Ooh, we are getting a Snapchat from the GF. Probably wondering what I'm doing, why I'm not replying. Sorry. It is video time. Alright, we'll max out our trapper. Got everything maxed right now. Board doesn't look too shabby. I don't like the 2 tier 3 vampires, but it is what it is. If we have to deal with it, we'll deal with it. Man, I want to try the Corsair deck that I have in mind now. I think it's going to be really, really good just because of the mana. You never run out of mana. I think Dryad is 100% a must. Like, you have to use Dryad in like every deck now for the extra 10%. If there was one more unit that was like a support card, then this would be a beautiful faction week. Like, for instance, if Harlequin was a Forced Alliance, which doesn't make any sense, but if he or she was, then you could utilize all 3 of them together and have like really good ones. It's not looking too good for us. I'm actually going to merge these. We need some extra damage. I think we're good on Gorgon right here. We have 3k mana. We may not even need the vampire anymore at this point. Okay, so we killed ours. I don't know if he's going to kill his or not. If we get lucky here and it hits the tier 3, he loses, or he takes damage. And of course it didn't. If that was me, it would have hit my tier 2 and my tier 3 Inquisitor, and I would have took 2 damage. But it ain't me, so. Okay. See what we can do here. We need some extra damage. That one was a little too close for comfort. We are probably going to get unlucky here in a second and get a vampire. I'm scared to merge. Alright, so we can only buy 1 more or 2 more units right now, so we're going to sit right here. Because Puppeteer is most likely going to swap us a couple of times, and we're going to need the mana to upgrade our units again. So we got a good bit of slow with the Trapper and Frost. Oh yeah, Turtle is really good in this game. Our board is about as good as we could ask with having no vampires late game, because we don't need them right now at all. Have plenty of mana. So right now we're getting like, what is it? 40 something mana per per unit killed, which is pretty dang good. 17 to 69, so we got 52. Then he is popping everything right now. So we're actually gonna go ahead and just freeze him. I don't think we have to worry about losing here. He was saving his little demonologists. That is okay. We'll get one more swap. And I don't even think it's gonna have time to, we didn't even have time to swap us, which I actually am not happy about because I wanted to get one of my Crystal Masters in the upgraded square, but it's okay. He just lost all of his down to level 1. Oh yeah, and it still has 2 million health. Stasis is just so good. I did think about swapping Frost with Stasis, but the problem with that is that you need multiple Stasises on the board for it to be good. And there's just not enough board space to have multiple Stasises, multiple Trappers, and multiple Crystal Masters. Like, you would have 2 or 3 of each and it just wouldn't be as good in my opinion. I don't think so. I haven't tried it. But so he did take 2 damage there. Next boss, it is Puppeteer. If he couldn't kill that Puppeteer, he probably can't kill the next one. We should be good. This should be another win. Hopefully. I'm not gonna waste my mana upgrading my vampire because we're probably not gonna merge anymore anyway. We need to upgrade our Frost though. I do want a tier 7 or max tier Frost. So we're just gonna pop the freeze. I don't even want it to be close. 30 seconds, we should be good. If he gets on, oh, he doesn't have any Inquisitors anymore. He disconnected. That is a rage quit if I've ever seen one in my life. So he should lose here. He probably won't even make it to the boss unless the stasis just spams. Okay, so we got his 2 wins in a row. Honestly, they weren't too close of games. We actually just beat the best Inquisitor deck in the game. Well, prior to this faction change. I don't know if it still is or not, but guys, that'll be it. I'm not gonna play another one. We're 17 minutes in. I really do appreciate all the support y'all give me. Hit that sub button, hit the like button, and let me know if you have any decks in the comments. I'll see y'all next time.
Let's make a run together. I'll be by your